Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tell Stories. I am going to narrate the story of The Incredibles, a super family. Once upon a time, a group of people called the Supers were loved by everyone around the world. The Supers had special powers that they used to keep the world safe from evil. One of these Supers was especially good at his job. His name was Mr. Incredible, and he was super strong. He sometimes worked with Elastigirl. She could stretch her arms and legs super far and catch a criminal from down the block. But then, times changed. People stopped wanting to be saved, and they turned against the Supers. The Supers had to quit being heroes. They went into hiding, pretending to be normal people with normal lives. Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl were known as Mr. and Mrs. Parr. They had a son named Dash, a daughter named Violet, and a baby named Jack. They tried to act like a typical family, but sometimes that was difficult because the kids had superpowers too. Dash could run super fast, and Violet could turn invisible and create force fields. Outside the house, the kids had to keep their powers a secret, but inside the house, they used their superpowers for better or worse, even at the dinner table. Then one day, Mr. Parr opened his briefcase to find a strange computer inside. A woman's face appeared on the screen. "Hello, Mr. Incredible," the woman said. "My name is Mirage. A highly experimental prototype robot has escaped our control." Mirage asked Mr. Incredible to take on the mission of stopping the robot. "The Supers aren't gone, Mr. Incredible. You're still here." Mr. Incredible was thrilled to be able to act as a super again. Without telling his family, he headed to the secret island of Nomanisan, where he swiftly defeated the robot. After that, Mr. Incredible was called to do more super work. He accomplished every mission until one. This time, the most powerful robot yet attacked. Mr. Incredible tried every super move he knew, but the robot was better, faster, and stronger. Suddenly, a stranger wearing a supersuit appeared.
"It's too much for Mr. Incredible!"
the stranger yelled, laughing evilly. Mr. Incredible realized that the person who controlled the robots was actually a villain named Syndrome.
"Who's super now?"
Syndrome shouted as he trapped Mr. Incredible. Meanwhile, Mrs. Parr had figured out that her husband was working as a super again. Using a tracking device, she saw that Mr. Incredible was on Nomanisan. She knew he was in trouble. She put on her supersuit and transformed into Elastigirl, ready to rescue her husband. Dash and Violet couldn't just stay at home while their parents were in danger. They put on their supersuits and joined their mum. The family raced to Nomanisan. They fought Syndrome's guards, then they freed Mr. Incredible. Violet and Dash had never really seen Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible in action before. They were awesome! Suddenly, Syndrome arrived. Using his Immobile, the villain trapped the Incredibles in a force field.
"Looks like I've hit the jackpot!"
Syndrome cackled. He told them his evil plan. He would send his own robot to attack the city. Then, when all hope was lost, he would appear and defeat the robot himself. He would look like the most powerful super of all.
"I'll be a bigger hero than you ever were!"
Syndrome yelled. Then he flew off. Mr. Incredible felt terrible about the danger he had put his family in. "I'm sorry," he told them, shaking his head. "This is my fault." Violet smiled. Her family didn't know it, but she had protected herself with her own force field. She made her way to the control panel and freed everyone. The Incredibles were back and ready to rescue. In the city, the robot was on the attack. Syndrome pretended to fight the giant robot using a remote control. People cheered for him. His plan was working. Then the robot figured out that Syndrome was controlling its every move. It shot a laser ray at Syndrome, and the remote flew from the villain's hand. The Incredibles raced towards the robot. The family, along with their super friend Frozone, put their powers together to battle fire and ice and the robot's non-stop attacks. Finally, the Incredibles defeated Syndrome's invention. The crowd cheered for the super family. After that, the Parr family continued pretending to be normal, but they all knew that when a villain threatened the world, the Incredibles would be there to save the day. That's the end. For more such interesting stories, please subscribe to our channel, Tell Stories.